everyone, and welcome to another episode with Claudette, Chenevert, and Sharona. And today we wanted to talk about renewal for the new year. So my name is Claudette Chenevert, and I'm known as the StepMom. And I work with stepmoms who are looking to improve and build stronger relationships within their step families, one step at a time. And my is Sharona, and Sharona, I'll let you introduce yourself to our listeners.
Hi, everybody. Sharona here. Greetings and salutations. And I am a transition and transformational specialist, and I inspire midlife women who are dancing with change, who are struggling and feel lost and uncertain, who are ready to continue on their journey thriving wholeheartedly in body, mind, and spirit. Welcome.
So we had a little chat before we got on, and so we're really ready. And it's nice. I really enjoy doing this with you, Sharona, because there's a lot of energy, and even though we focus on different audiences. Like I focus on stepmoms and you focus on midlife women. There's a lot that we can talk about and share. And, the new year's coming up. The thing that I want to talk about and that we'll incorporate in there is the roles we play, right?
Right.
And we talked about that a little bit. Roles we play and, how we can make it, to the new year and start off a new year. And, so are we role playing? Are the roles we're playing still working for us? Or should we be playing roles in our lives? And so I'd like for you to start us off a little bit about role playing. And, I'm sure that in midlife women, I'm one of them, a lot of roles we play. And for stepmoms as well, there's a lot of roles we play. And so how do we manage all of those roles? And how can we move towards a new year in being a better us or improve, maybe not improve, but be a transformed us that we know who we are.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I think one of the things is there's certain, I think it comes up during the holiday season when we meet up with family members and suddenly some of us feel as if we are, did we freeze?
No, we're good.
Oh, okay. Suddenly, that we suddenly meet up and then we feel like we're 12 years old again. And I kept going, why is that? Why do we go into those roles? So, there's certain roles that, like stepmom, mom, parent, daughter, sibling, employee, boss. There's all these little roles and we do act friend, enemy. We act differently with different people. So one of the things that I always ask is, in all of those roles that we play, who are we really? And it's not about creating a new us. It's about being more grounded and comfortable with who we are in the moment. So for instance, if I was in my family, I'm the oldest, and sometimes there's this thing about being the firstborn. And I'm thinking to myself, but you know what? I'm a midlife woman. Let's just cut all that. I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to play that role. And so for me, it's really asking, and this, when we come toward a new year, I usually do it on my birthday because my birthday's in January, but you start pondering, who am I? What do I really want in this coming year? And how do I want to be in this coming year? Who am I? What do I want? And how do I want to be? So those are the things that I like to, focus on when I'm working and inspiring midlife women. So, what are those
And
roles?
then, yeah, and I love what you just shared, Sharna, because there's a lot of stuff you just shared, and I think it's important for us to take a moment to just revisit and digest that. And we all play differently. You are firstborn, and it's interesting because in the firstborn all my life, and in the beginning of this year, I am no longer the firstborn from this family. By that I mean that my mom had given up a son in adoption, and so he came back into her life after 55 years. And so for me, I'm really like, it threw me off in that, who am I? Like this question is like, well, I can't call myself the firstborn anymore because he's there. It's really, really hard for me because, I've always played that. And now, like, I've been a mom, or I'm still a mom, but my kids are older and they're grown up, and now I'm a grandmother, so it's a new role. And so, our roles in life changed. And we progress as we progress. Like you talking about, midlife, being in midlife, and it's the same with stepmoms. All of a sudden you're a single woman, you meet this guy, and all of a sudden you're an instant mom. Kids you don't know, or but are not yours all the time. So understanding who you are is more or beyond the roles we play, right?
Right.
Because these are just a component of who we are. We really need to go deeper inside ourselves to understand, like, what makes me, right?
Right. What is the core of who you are? When we hear, it's like years ago when one of the roles that I took on as the firstborn was I don't know why, the knight in shining armor. I felt like I had to save everybody. I don't know why, I did. And I remember one year I had to go save somebody, and I was driving they didn't need any saving, but in my head they thought they did. And I went into my car driving I had to get to San Francisco, driving over the Golden Gate Bridge. The wind is literally blowing me from lane to lane. It's raining very hard. And I finally said, what the heck am I doing on this bridge? And what I could have anyway, I told this person that I am not their savior anymore. And this was an eye-opener for me. She said to me, I never asked you to. And I think a lot of times we take on roles because we think in our mind, or for some reason we take on that role, but nobody really, we say yes to it, but we never question it. And I think it's time to question some of these roles that we play.
I love what you just said. And I can relate to what you just said about saving other people. It's a DNA for firstborns or whatever, especially women. I think also that we need to ask ourselves, why did I take on this role? And I see this a lot in women, especially stepmoms, who are taking on the role of being a mother to her husband's kids, especially when the kids didn't ask for it. And I think that's an important key, right?
Right.
I think we take on roles that people did not ask us to take on. We put it on ourselves to take on these roles. Now, obviously, there are times when people do ask us to take on these roles, like being a parent and or being a mother and a caregiver when someone's not well. Those are roles that people ask us, and it's our decision to say yes or no, right?
Right.
It's a choice we take on to say, yes, I want to take on this role. And we also have to be able to say, you know, this role doesn't fit me anymore. I need to be transitioning to another role, or at least another part of who I am, right?
Right.
And I'd love for us to maybe have a chat about, you know, the different roles. And I've heard someone say to me, like, when you're playing your role, you're not totally yourself. And I'm not sure that I personally think I think that we are a conglomerate of roles that we play, and then we use them depending on our situation in life. What do you think about that?
You know what, I agree with you there, Claudette, because one of the things is, and I think you know, one of the things that happens for some midlife women is they become the sandwich person. They might still have children to take care of, and then they have their older parents to take care of, and they're stuck in the middle. So they become a caregiver for like the whole village. So the question is then and then we take it on and we say, okay, we don't renegotiate when it becomes too stressful. And I think we get to play there's certain roles we get to play and choose, but we can always renegotiate if it's not working for us. I think it's very hard to be a caregiver for everybody and not ask for help. You need to ask for help. So I think, yes, I agree that we are a tapestry of the roles we play, and in the center of that tapestry is who we are. And we get to choose and decide as we move forward in time what works for me now, what doesn't. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, no, I don't want to take this on anymore, or I need help to do this. I don't have to be the savior of the world. I don't have to be the caregiver to everybody else. You know, I need support too. So those are just some things that, so yeah, I think we're all, you know, like a friend. And I don't know about you, but with different people as different friends, sometimes we act differently, right? We act differently with different people because, but I'm thinking to myself, certain people, would they, you know, and then I finally realized, you know what, this is who I am. I'm a little goofy, geeky, deep person. But some, you know, does people really want to have a goofy, geeky, deep person? I am a free radical. I float around doing whatever I'm doing, but that's okay. You know, and people either will accept who I am or not. And it's interesting to renegotiate that with family members and friends who have seen me in one way. I don't know if you've experienced that, but as you were transforming and becoming more, I don't know how to put it, more of us, or being solid in who we are as we continue on our journey, as we transform and transition, you'll notice that people react to us like, oh my God, she changed her role. She's changing. What am I supposed to do? Oh my God, you're not playing it. You're not doing that. You got to do that. How can I identify myself if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing? I don't know.
And that is so key, what you just said there, Sharona. I think that is gold. Many times you want to change, right? We want to move forward. We want to be improve, play different places in our lives. And then all of a sudden people say, why did you change? You're not the same person. Thank you. I'm glad I'm not the same person because I don't want to be stuck being the same person for the rest of my life. And if I look back at who I was 20, 30 years ago, oh my gosh, I don't want to be that person. I wasn't a bad person. It's just that I've grown. I've expanded myself, and I'm okay with this. But not everybody is okay with this, right? And that's what you were just saying, that
Right.
as we expand on who we are and get to know ourselves, there are things that don't fit who we are anymore. Like, it's we just change, and I think it's okay. What makes it difficult is people putting us in pigeonholes, saying, well, this is how you're supposed to be.
Right. Yeah.
Who said that? Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and for example, I'll talk about stepmoms. Like, stepmoms, you're supposed to be a nurturing person. You're supposed to be loving your stepkids. You're supposed to be there for them all the time. Who said that? Like, really? Like, it doesn't mean you don't have to be. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It means that, it's a role you decide, like, do I really want to be a parent figure to these kids? Now, if you say you don't, then I would have a conversation with you and say, okay, you knew your husband had kids, so it's part of the package deal, but you don't have to be involved as if you're the only parent. So it's, everything is negotiable. I think also, as being the oldest daughter of 4 girls, my sisters would see me or look at me in a certain way. And now that I'm not acting the same way I did like 40 years ago, like, they're wondering, like, who do you think you are? Like, I am me. I'm just transitioning. I'm growing. And I think our life experience makes it that we are evolving. I like to see myself as I'm evolving. And so evolving also means changing. And that means our roles will transition into other things, which is, I think, perfectly okay.
And you know what? You touched on something that I want to come back to about parenting, because I remember years ago I met a Native American, and they said, and I can't remember what Native American nation they came from, but they said that in their culture, there's 8 different types of mothers.
Wow.
And in our Western culture, there is like this stereotype. First of all, there's a stereotypical of what a stepmom is, and then there's a stereotypical what a mom is supposed to be. And I think foremost, and as a parent, again, we have to care and raise our children, but we also need to mentor them, and we need to be the adult, and not and I see that a lot of times that gets confused. If I don't do it in a certain way, how it's supposed to be, then we're judged.
Yeah.
We're judged. And then one of the things also is, as women, for some of us, we don't have children, and yet we're judged for that too. It's like, you know what? It was a choice, but I can still parent younger beings. I can still mentor. I think it's more of a mentor and coaching other beings. I don't have to be their caregiver. I don't have to be there for them 24/7. There's a certain point. I don't know about you, but I remember at the age of 12 or 13, I was watching there was yes, we lived in it wasn't a village, but in a place where there were other at-home parents, and so everybody was watching everybody else's children. And yet I was responsible for my younger siblings. Now it's like, God forbid you leave your 12-year-old alone at home, they'll take the child away. And because all that, right? So parenting, I think, and especially for stepmoms who are taking on other children, I think there needs to be a place for them to figure out who they are as a mentor for the new young ones coming in. And that should, yeah, sorry. And that should be negotiated too.
Yes, exactly. I agree. And one of the things is, I think what we're coming to, like, from our conversation, and just so everybody knows, we don't script our conversation. No. This is a conversation we have. And so we're really sharing our beliefs in what we do and our thoughts here. And so one of the thing I'm getting from our conversation, Sharona, is understanding who we are, right? I think the core is sure all this exploration is moving towards understanding who we are, so that when we're going to go to a new year, it's more of a renewal or rediscovering who we are, right?
Right.
At this stage of our life.
Mm-hmm.
And like for you working with midlife women, it's a different stage. So it's to rediscover. For stepmoms, it's the same thing. It's to rediscover who you are in this particular time in your life. And it's not something that is forever. There's nothing that lasts forever except for death. I mean, that's it. Like tax and death, right, is the only thing that's forever. But we're always moving forward. And so, for those who don't know, like my husband and I have been living in another city because my husband lost his job. And so we picked up our stuff and moved to another city. So we're living like in two places at the same time. So we're constantly moving. But we agreed to this, one, because we know it's not forever. So any changes that we're doing, most of the time, it's not going to be forever. And so who am I during this time of my life? Well, I'm a midlife woman who is a stepmom, who is a grandmother, who is a business owner, coaching, living in a different city, and enjoying the time I'm here. I think it's important for us to understand that if it's just for a short period of time, and short could be whatever you define it, enjoy the process and get to understand who you are. I'm discovering myself that, I am actually enjoying living in the city, something I had sworn I would never, ever, ever do in my life. You know what? It's pretty cool. I'm enjoying this. This is fun because I allowed myself to experience something different and to explore a new aspect in my life, which makes it really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what, and that's so true. I think it's a rediscovering, Claudette, and also a redesigning and a recreation. It's about saying what works, what do I feel, what brings satisfaction and contentment, what feels like a challenge all the time. And there's a certain point where you have to say, yeah, I've done this for this amount of time. I want to make a transition. I want to make a change. I want to do something different. And, be it in a family situation, be it in career, finances, whatever, and I think one of the things too is not getting in the trap of, finding your full potential, living your full potential. And, my full potential right now is keeping it really simple, and single tasking. That is my mantra that I've had for this past year. It's like I want to trim everything back and get down to what is really important to me now. And and so that's a rediscovery, because I was trying to do too much too soon, too quick, too like having a full plate, because I was supposed to be living fully. Well, living fully could be keep it simple. Keep it simple. Enjoy the moment, experience what's going on, and and continue, and just keep moving, keep breathing, keep dancing, keep bringing the fun. I think one of the things is we forget to bring the fun. Bring it with you, because sometimes it can get. So I agree. As going into the new year, we need to, it's a renewal, it's a recommitment, it's a revitalization. It's it's about saying, okay, what can I leave into 2015? What did I learn? What can I leave behind as I go through this door now?
So I think those are great points you just shared. And I think this is like a moment where people can take a pen and paper and write it down.
Okay. Or type it in.
Write down the things that you were happy about, the things that you're not happy about, the things you accomplished, and the things you wish you had accomplished or at least moved forward in your life. And make that part of a list of things to focus on in the coming year.
Yes, I agree with that. So thank you, Claudette. I think that's brilliant. It's what worked, what didn't, what do you want to keep, what do you want to let go? It really comes down to that. And if you're, here's the thing: if you're a midlife woman or a stepmom or both, and you're feeling that I do not have enough support, or I might need a mentor to help. Claudette, I know that you're available. I'm available. You can, Claudette, you can reach at stepmomcoach.com. You can reach me at dancingwithchangetothrive.com. And, let us know how we can support you in this upcoming year. I'm having, so we're all having this time to say, yeah, I want to make small shifts in my life. That's a shift, and small shifts in my life. And, sometimes we can't do it alone. Sometimes we can't.
And it's true, right? We need someone to give us perspective on what we're doing. Because I know personally, there are moments in my life where I thought I had accomplished nothing. And I was struggling, and I thought, oh my God, I'm a total failure. There are moments when we're sitting there and we're thinking, I'm a total failure. Like, really? Are you a total failure? Like, total failure? So we really have to be careful of the words we use. And so with certain people, I have a coach, I even have a therapist, I have people and friends that I surround myself that give me that sense of being grounded, of creating a more realistic perspective about who I am and what I do and where I'm going. Because there are times when I'm just like, oh, I'm lost. I can't think straight. And so, yes, agreed, Sharona, you're a great coach for midlife women who are looking for, what's the next step in my life? Where do I want to go? And if you're a stepmom and you're struggling, understanding your role within this new family, and you're wanting to create something new in the new coming year, or at least to define yourself with more direction in who you want to be in the coming year, I'll be more than happy to help you to create the kind of person you want to be, at least with more direction and being more concrete action steps.
Yes, and I think again as a stepmom, as a stepmom coach, you give that extra support because there's not many people who understand what it is to become a stepmom, and how to transition into a new tribe of people. That's really what's happening. You're going into a new village, a new tribe. There's different rules, different traditions, different expectations, and to have a faithful sidekick like a stepmom coach to help you on the journey is a great option. Is a great option. And the same thing with working with midlife women. Yes, there's a group of us. We're many in number, but sometimes we feel isolated because we feel there's this part of us that feels restless and lost at the same time. We have lived on this planet for a pretty good portion of our life, and we're saying, is this it? Is this really it? What? No, this can't be it. There's got to be something else. And and a lot of sometimes we just need that, again, a faithful sidekick to say you're not alone. You don't have to be isolated in this transition. There's help for you, there's support and inspiration for you. So
yeah. I love it. I know that, people like you, Sharona, I see midlife women, and that what you just said is this it. Like, I've lived this far and that's it. And that's pretty scary. And I think that's pretty sad. Like, really, someone comes to midlife and says to them, is this it? It's like, oh my gosh, you can't stay there. Like, this is like, no, don't go there. Don't go and say, is this it? Because that's really, I think that's the saddest thing, or the saddest words a person can say to themselves is this it? Mm-hmm. It's really is. So please, if you're saying to yourself, is this it? Go see Sharona. Don't get stuck or stay stuck in your situation. Mm-hmm. So a few words of wisdom before we say bye. So anything else you want to add, Sharona, before we say goodbye to everybody?
I think, words of wisdom. Let me put on my wisdom hat and think deeply. I didn't wear my crown today. So here forgot to put my crown on. So I think my sense is that we're all brilliant as women, and that we need to give ourselves permission to be ourselves in any situation, and that it's okay. And I think the other thing I want to say is we're enough. We're enough as we are. We do not need to prove or fix or do it. We're enough as we are. That's my words of wisdom.
I love it. I love that we're enough, because I think that is a very difficult place to go into when you think you're not enough. And for me, what I'd like to share is to think about, who are you? What do you want to become? And that it's all negotiable, right? Everything changes. It's negotiable. It's not because you decided at 20 you were going to be this successful career person and move through corporate America and then realize, like, you know what? It'd be nice to be at home and raise kids instead. And that's okay. And then once the kids are there, I say, well, you know what? I'm not sure I want to stay home and raise kids all the time. I want to have a life for myself. And that's perfectly okay. I think giving yourself permission to go to negotiate your roles and to take some quiet time to explore who you are inside. I think that is the words I want to leave you with as we end our call today.
Okay, great. And you know what? I just want to add one little tidbit if I can, Claudette, because I think we forget that here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're in winter. And winter is, or we're in fall going into winter. Winter is the time of hibernation. Winter is the time of going inside the cave and going deep within and asking these deep questions. Who am I? What do I want? And who do I want to be? I think, yes. So I wanted just to dovetail a little bit on what you just said, because we forget that in the Northern Hemisphere, we're in winter. Let's use that time to go within.
Perfect. I think that's a perfect way to end. So if you're interested in getting help with StepMom, being a stepmom or stepmom issues or with step family, my name is Claudette Chenevert, and you can visit me on my website, www.stepmomcoach.com. And Sharona, where can people reach you?
Okay, and so as a midlife dancing with change specialist, you can find me at my website at www.dancingwithchangetothrive.com. You can also visit me on my Facebook page, and please like me. It's all about being liked. On Midlife Women Dancing with Change, there I have a page that, and in my Google Plus, I also have a Dancing with Change, Women Dancing with Change Google Plus page. So come visit, say hello. If you have any questions, I'm always available to schmooze and chat. So anyway, there you go.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And I hope to see you on our next episode that is going to be coming pretty soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.